Hey, it's me again. Today it is Sunday, May the 28th, of 2017. Uh, yesterday, man, it was Saturday yesterday. I don't know. Yesterday felt like Friday. Uh, yeah, yesterday, with the baby almost being here, we we pretty much clear the schedule. Nothing's going on. And so I was like, okay, nothing's going on. So I'm going to go to group because I go to a weekly Curcio reunion group. It's a bunch of guys. We get together and we reflect on our week to try to become better Christians going forward. I highly recommend Curcio if you've never gone. Uh, so anyway, I went to that. My plan was I was going to go to that, and then the food pantry. It was our week for our parish to sponsor the food pantry, and so I was going to go to that, and then I was going to come home, and then I have a laundry list of things always in the studio that I want to do. There's always poetry and songs and books and just there's always just tons of stuff that I want to do. I find as a husband, I find as a father, I spend the majority of my time pushing the pause button on my list so that I can help my children do the things that they want to do and help my wife do the things that she wants to do. And that's okay. That's my job as a Christian father and husband, and I totally love it. It took some time to get used to, but I have found a true passion in serving. I've always liked serving people, um, but something's happened recently in my meditation and in my prayer and in my study, and I'm reading the Gospels, just how Jesus came and he served. You know, I guess I used to think about Jesus coming to earth and walking among us, and it was kind of like, oh wow, we should, the whole worship. I was seeing it from a church perspective, where you go to church and you worship God. And even process that. Are you worshiping God really when you go to church? Or are you just sitting, hanging out, and kind of listening? Or are you there actively worshiping? That's a question for yourself. A question for myself. It just kind of dawned on me just now. But you get wrapped up in the whole worship thing. And when you really step back and look at it, the 3 years or whatever that Jesus actually held an active ministry on earth, he was serving. He was healing the sick. He was casting out demons. He was giving sight to the blind. He was giving hearing to the deaf. He was raising people from the dead. He was serving. He was forgiving sins. He could have been like, I'm God. You have these sins and you need to kiss my feet and everything. And maybe I'll think about it. He was just like, your sins are forgiven. Get up and walk. I love you. It's gone. Let me take this away from you. Let me take away this disease or whatever. Let me take away, whatever affliction you have. Let me take away your sins, though. And, just coming to that realization is like, I want to be like Jesus. I want to serve, and I can't, at least I don't know how to give sight. I can't. If Jesus wanted to work through me, I could give sight to the blind, but I can't myself do those things. I can't let the lame walk or get the deaf to hear or raise the dead. And I don't have the ability to forgive sins. Unless somebody personally afflicts me and then I can personally forgive them, but the sin that they committed against God through what they did to me, I can't forgive that. But I can serve and I can try to make people's day better. And so, okay, what does this have to do with my weekend? Well, I got up and I went to group, and it was a great, amazing group. Chris had there's a guy in our group named Chris, and he had a problem, and so everybody kind of left, and it was just me and Mark and Chris in the room, and so Mark initiated it. Thank God. And he was like, "Hey, Chris, what's going on?" And so we had a little conversation with Chris, and that was very beautiful as well. Got out of there. I'm like, Mark drops me off. I jump in the car. I come in the house. It's like, "Hey, is Kane ready to go?" No, Kane's not ready to go. Okay, no big deal. I'll just go ahead and go, because I got to the house at like 8:25, and the food pantry. Yeah. Um, it starts at 8:30. They have a meeting and they prep. I mean, there's people there before that, but 8:30 is where they really, and they have a prayer and like, okay, this is what we're focused on. Let's go over the rules and so forth and so on. So leaving at 8:20, 8:25, it's like, you're going to show up late. And so I didn't wait for Kane. It's like, okay, not really a big deal. I'm going to go ahead and leave, because I told Deacon Paul that I was going to be there if we didn't have the baby yet. And so I get in the car and I'm driving, and I'm just like, I can't even remember why I called. I talked to Tanny, and she said she was going to go to Bloomington. I was like, "Why are we going to Bloomington?" And she had told me, and I completely forgot. This total man thing. I just completely forgot that she said she's going to go to Bloomington. And when she said she was going to go to Bloomington, my mind was like, okay, she's going to Aldi's and Walmart and Sam's and whatever else. And come to find out, she was just going to Bloomington to pick up the vacuum cleaner, because Walter broke the vacuum cleaner, jerking on the cord or whatever. He fried out the cord and said, "Put a new cord on." And I was trying to talk to her on the phone, and somebody broke the phone, and she was having trouble. And there was just a lot of angst and frustration and whatnot in her voice. And I was getting to the curves. I was almost there. I was making good time. Driving too fast. And I got to the curves, and I was ready to turn to complete my drive into Gibson. And there was just something that pulled inside of me and said, she needs me right now. So I banged and barreled and turned around in the middle of the road, and I hot-footed it back, and I got back. And I realized, for me at that moment, it seemed like the most important thing for me to do was to take care of my wife. And so I flew back, because I wanted to make sure that I got back before they pulled out of the driveway. I got back in plenty of time, and we drove to Bloomington. Then I found out that we were just picking up a vacuum cleaner. So we went, took just the little ones, left Walter and Kane behind to do their chores, which they kind of really didn't do, because they thought we were going to be gone for a long time. I was surprised when we came back really quick. They learned a lesson from it. I had a little talk with Kane, like, "This is what happened, didn't it?" He's like, "Yeah." It's like, it's, this is what you're wanting. You can't do this. So we got back. And then I learned that. I learned that. My in-laws wanted to move the swing set. They have a swing set in their backyard, and they wanted to give it to us. And I really didn't want the swing set, but my wife wants it. Tanny wanted it, so I was like, all right, cool. So I went and took my truck over to their house, helped them take it apart. We just took it apart in like 2 big pieces, but like the slide and the steps came off, so there was a couple other little pieces too, not really a big deal. And we moved it. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to work in the basement, I'm going to go move the swing set. And so I moved the swing set, and then got done moving the swing set and getting it fastened down in place. And then kind of realized that I think I just took a break because I was tired. And then I think I went down I don't know, Tanny was really cranky all weekend. She's really pregnant, and she was just really cranky. And I couldn't quite figure it out. And then I found out later that she had been fasting. And Tanny and I both, when we fast, our blood sugar drops below a certain point, we get cranky. And I'm not quite exactly sure why she was fasting. I think, she's just really pushing to lose weight during this pregnancy. I mean, I know she's wanting to get in shape, and they put her on the special diet because of gestational diabetes, and so she started losing weight, and I think she got excited about that, and so she's trying to continually lose weight and whatnot. But I just spent the weekend doing what other people wanted to do, and now it's Sunday morning, and she wants to sleep in. I don't have CCD anymore. We had the parish picnic last week. We don't have CCD anymore, so I'm gonna try to go to Sacred Heart in Farmer City. I have some friends over there. I've met a lot of people from Farmer City Parish. I'm gonna go over there. And try to, I want to grab another Eucharist. I'm going to grab a sacrament today, grab some peace and clarity. I had a bunch of voice memos that were dumped into Tanny's computer. Tanny uses all the time upstairs in the dining room, and one of the voice memos was a homily from Father Dennis when he visited us back in January, and I recorded it and I listened to that homily. And the homily, you're a Protestant, the sermon can last half an hour, 45 minutes, and the rest, it's all about the sermon. As a Catholic, it's all about the liturgy. So it's all about the reading the scriptures. It's about the liturgy of the Word. It's about the liturgy of the Eucharist, the prayers and everything surrounding that. And yeah, we throw in a homily, and it usually lasts anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. 15, if Father's really on the roll, So, but it was cool to listen to that, because his homily that I recorded, it was about the Beatitudes. So, yeah, listen to that. So I'm going to try to go to Sacred Heart this morning. We'll see how that works, because my weekend's been detoured a couple times already. And then I think we're just going to have a hangout day maybe. Tonight, I think Tanny and I might go out and watch Dave. Oh man, I forget his last name now. Dave. Oh geez, he played on my CD. Dave, whatever. Dave, the guitar guy. We're going to watch his band play at Pippa's Pub maybe and go out for something to eat. We'll see. I really don't feel like eating. I'm sick lately. I've been blowing my nose and the blood's coming out. And everything. I've been sick lately. I don't know. I don't get it. Whatever. So, I'm feeling better though, I think, a little bit. But we're going to do that maybe. And then tomorrow, on Monday, I think the kids are going to spend the night at Mama and Papa's house. And then Monday, I think we're maybe going to cook out. And I've got some stuff in the burn pile that put some cinder blocks up in a ring. We might burn that. Maybe I'll call Mark and Tina and invite them to come over and hang out. And then that'll be Monday, and then Tuesday we're going to have the baby. We go in Tuesday morning at 6 a.m. and we're going to have baby who's what's it. It's either going to be baby Joe or baby Mary. And the doctor, when we went to go see her on Friday, Tanny's OB doctor, or whatever, baby doctor, I don't know what to call him. She kept saying she. And so me and Tanny were wondering yesterday if maybe Doc was tipping her at me like, got a little girl, but we'll see. Another girl. Another boy. I could go on about the kids too. I had some great time. Zach's becoming more my boy now since mom has got such a big tummy on her. She's full blown pregnant. It's hard to sit on mommy's lap, so I've been getting extra cuddle time with Pearl and Zach, and that's one of the benefits for me when a new baby comes. The the second youngest then becomes mine, and Walter and Kane. And Kane is getting so big. He's coming into his own. He's taking his time, and that's okay. I have a lot of faith in Kane. He's not choosing a path that I would choose, but you know what? It's not my path, it's his path. And I'm really going to be excited to see what he does with his life, because I think he's going to be a really amazing man. Walter, the same thing. You know, they're making mistakes, and they're making right choices too. And you just have to be patient with them and live through it. So I'm very thankful. Theodore, Pearl, Zach, this new one, Tanny. It's just a real blessing to get to push pause on my list to help them with theirs. And I want to lead a life of service, and I hope I continue to do so to help them grow up and be the best that they could possibly be. That's all I gotta say about that.